Hello, hello, and welcome to First Timers Movie Club.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the club. We're glad to have you here.
Welcome, welcome. I'm Lolo Loren.
And I'm Patrick Poe.
And this is the awesome, super fun podcast where we make people watch movies they've never seen before.
Mostly we make each other watch movies that we've never seen before.
Yeah, mostly. But also there's been a pandemic on, so.
Exactly. But we're vaccinated now.
We are, which is so relieving.
It is.
It's so much stress.
So now hopefully
Relieved.
we'll be able to convince a friend to come to our home.
Yeah.
Hang out with us for a very long time.
Yeah.
And watch an entire movie.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Which I realized the other day is what I always loved growing up.
Yeah.
That was my favorite activity.
Making friends watch movies.
Yes. And some of my friends did not like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
And some of my friends really like that.
Oh, cool.
So, like, those are the friends I still have today. And one of those friends I married, and her name's Lola Loren, and now she's still sitting across from me doing a podcast.
Interesting. She must have liked watching movies with you or something.
And talking about them.
Yeah.
And I just realized that was really cool that I turned one of my favorite things to do with people into a podcast that I really enjoy with my wife.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I realized that, like, some people don't enjoy that process of sitting and watching a movie
Yeah.
and then talking about it with friends later. They're just like, oh, that seems like a lot of time. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But I love it.
I do too, clearly.
So I'm really excited to hopefully invite friends to come watch movies with us.
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be so much fun. I don't really think I had many notes from last episode to this episode.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I had one thing I was going to mention. I don't know what happened to the random scrap of paper I wrote it on because I'm really bad about that. I'll just like, whatever's in front of me, I'll write on it and then lose it.
Yeah, I was going to mention that we had that scrap of paper, and then I was like, we lost that.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Do you remember what was on it?
One thing was I was going to mention that the main cat actor won the animal equivalent of an Oscar for his role in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Wonderful.
And his name was Orangey.
Orangey, such a cute name.
I'm pretty sure, but I lost my notes. And I don't remember what the award was called. But it was the cat that was in her upset scenes,
That's wonderful.
from my understanding. Yeah.
So we did a wonderful job getting this podcast figured out for this episode. I'm so proud of us.
I might have had another note, but that was the important one, clearly, because it's the one that stuck with me.
It feels like it's been forever since we've done one of these.
It does.
It's because for a little bit there in April, we were doing like 2 to 3 of these a week to get the exclusive Patreon episodes out.
Yes, for about the 2021 Oscar Best Pictures.
Yeah. So if you want to go listen to those, you can go become a patron at patreon.com/ixfilmproductions.
Yes, they are all up now. We did all 8 Best Picture nominees.
Yeah. For just $1, $5, $10, however much dollars a month you want to give us.
Yes.
You can get access to those as well as access to a couple of our feature films,
Yes.
which is a lot of cool content and
It is.
exclusive sketch edits and all sorts of different behind the scenes content.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you should also, if you haven't already, subscribe to this podcast, leave
Yeah.
a comment, interact with us. We like that. It helps other people find the podcast.
Yes.
All good things. Share us with your friends.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this on YouTube,
Yeah.
one of the big analytics right now that YouTube cares about
Yeah.
is actually if after you listen to this, click another one of our videos.
Oh.
Like, watch one of our sketches.
Yeah.
Like, off the top of my head, Silent But Deadly is really funny. Go watch
It's a
that.
favorite of mine. Our films, Everybody Does It, is about to screen at a film festival. You can watch that on our YouTube.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to go see that.
Yeah, I believe
And
that
so
and
is-
CSI 3036, I believe,
That's so
are
awesome.
coming up at screenings at the Doc Sunback Film Festival this summer.
I can't wait to go to Doc Sunback. I love that film festival.
It's really great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to learn what's screening.
Yeah.
I knew we had 2 things screening. I just couldn't remember
I
what.
hope I'm right. I think I'm right.
I think you are too. That's amazing.
They were, the reason I'm uncertain is because they were accepted to this film festival pre-pandemic, and then the festival was moved like everything else, so it feels so long ago.
I
'Cause it
know.
was over a year ago. We
Yeah.
got that news.
But that's exciting.
It is exciting.
We'll be doing that in June,
Yes.
which isn't that far away.
No, it's not.
It's also my
coming
birthday.
up so fast. I know.
It's pretty fun.
Ooh.
I'm amazing and we should celebrate it. I didn't even like saying that out loud. That was bad.
You're wonderful, and we should celebrate you,
Oh my
Patrick
god!
Poe.
Stop it! Stop it! I don't handle
For
compliments
the
well.
whole month.
Oh god,
It'll
no.
be Patrick Poe month.
Oh, do I get to pick all the movies?
For the month of June?
Yeah. That's 2 movies, Lolo.
Sure, you can
But
pick
also,
2 movies.
I don't think I want to.
Oh, okay. I'll pick all the movies.
I don't want that either.
Oh,
We'll do
okay.
exactly what we normally do.
Oh, okay. So we'll do exactly what we always do for your birthday.
I love that.
Okay, cool. Great.
That sounds amazing.
Dude, so what are we watching tonight?
Tonight, we are watching Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Oh, boy.
That's the title.
So I'm very excited for tonight. I think partly because, like, I loved watching all the Oscar movies. And I think the episodes we put out are great and it was a blast. But they were such heavy subject matter. Like, all of them.
You didn't mention that you have not seen this film.
Oh, I have not seen this film. Yes.
But I have.
Yes, but you have. I'm sorry. I broke the format.
That's okay.
I have not seen Borat.
No.
Yeah.
But you're right. We watched a lot of really heavy films for the Oscars. And we were actually going to watch a different movie next.
Yes. But
that I'd started doing research even. I've got some notes.
Yeah, well, we'll still watch it. But yeah, we just both... I know I really needed a laugh. I don't know if I'm going to like this movie or not, but I'm glad to at least be watching a movie that's meant to make me laugh instead of meant to make me cry for a break.
Yeah, but like I'd already planned a movie. I was like, oh, this will be a perfect follow-up after King Kong because some of the stuff we talked about in King Kong. And just like, I'm really excited to watch the next movie I have picked for you. I don't know if I want to say it or not.
Yeah, no. Make them wait.
Okay, cool. So I was really excited about it.
Yeah.
But then we were watching the Oscars and I think... Did subsequent movie film win something? Because I thought Sacha Baron Cohen gave a speech.
Or did he win for trial? No. I am so tired right now. I don't
have my phone near me. This can be in the next episode if it has to. My phone's right there, actually, if you just want to hand it to me. Let's see. Borat, subsequent movie film. Awards. No, it was just 2 nominees. So maybe Sasha didn't give a speech, but just seeing Sasha made us excited about this movie.
Maybe he presented or...
No, because he wasn't even there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we just saw him standing outside with his lovely wife.
But he was up for Best Performance as an Actor in Trial of Chicago and up for Best Adapted Screenplay.
So we just saw him a couple times.
Yes. And Maria Baklova was up for
Gotcha. Best
supporting actress.
Supporting actress. Okay.
Right?
Best actress.
Best supporting actress.
Best supporting actress. Okay.
But it did not win either of those. But it was just fun to see them, and we were talking about how I really want to see subsequent movie film.
Yes.
And Lolo's never seen Borat.
No, and I've had friends even telling me I need to see subsequent movie film, and I have to be like, I haven't seen the first one.
Which just seems insane at this point.
It really does.
Especially as a comedy filmmaker.
Yeah.
And we're now...
I just missed that one, man.
So many years past Borat coming out.
Well, yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That you haven't seen this movie.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your expectations. What do you think this movie is? / what do you know about this movie?
Well, I know most of his movies are him as characters but interacting with real people, right? He does a lot of that? Or is that just like Bruno? I don't know. I don't know what my expectation is. I don't know.
Because you haven't seen Bruno either.
When I've heard some stuff about, obviously, subsequent movie films, so I know that there is a lot of like her playing characters but interacting with real people, almost like a comedy prank show in a way, but with a narrative.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it.
Okay, cool. So that's kind of my expectation.
Because you've seen The Dictator.
Yes.
I know because I made you watch it.
Yes.
Because it came in 2012.
Okay.
I didn't see it in theaters, but I bought it on Blu-ray with the moment it came out and was like, Lolo, we're dating. We're watching this movie right now.
Yeah.
And we did, and I loved it. And you seemed to have a good time.
Yeah.
You could have been faking it just because you liked me and our relationship was newish.
No, I don't indulge people like that.
I know. It just seemed like a good joke, and I liked how long it took for you to catch the joke.
I'm so tired. I mean, I often don't have a good memory for detail, so I don't really remember anything that happened in The Dictator, but I do remember my impression of the film being, oh, this guy is really, really smart, isn't he? He's a genius about Sacha Baron Cohen being like, shit, this is one smart comedian.
Yeah. And I was a little surprised by The Dictator.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as
really?
the format of the other two films.
Okay, well, I'd rather remember it, so that won't...
It is fully a narrative, and it's a fully set up, produced narrative feature.
Okay, so it didn't have any real people interaction.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So when I showed you The Dictator, I was like, oh, this is genius. And I loved that movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I really wish Lolo had seen these other movies that I loved so much beforehand.
Yeah.
And I still have been wanting to show you both Borat and Bruno for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we're finally doing it.
I'm so excited.
Do you have any other thoughts about what you think this movie might be?
That's about it.
Is there any reason specifically that you haven't seen it before now?
I think Sacha Baron Cohen is one where sometimes like I worry about things getting overhyped. I think because I knew a lot of people who were, but then like seeing The Dictator and like anytime I've seen him act in other things, I'm like, geez, he's a genius. But like that overhyping sometimes can make one reluctant to experience the thing because you're like, what if I don't like it though?
Yeah.
And everyone is like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. That can be a lot of pressure for a viewing experience.
So I'm just curious because it came out in 2006.
Okay.
I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
I was not allowed to see it.
Okay.
Because it's an R-rated film.
Yeah.
And you were...
not aware of its existence.
Exactly.
Because how old's 8th grade?
12, 13.
Oh yeah, I was not aware of any movies coming out.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't there yet.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued because to me, I wasn't allowed to see Borat. Mm-hmm. But it was on the news, people talking about it every morning. Talking about this movie that was made.
Oh.
And all of my friends had seen it and everyone was quoting it and everyone had an opinion about whether or not this film was genius or this film was evil. And like, there was so much about this movie that like, as an 8th grader, I was like, holy fuck, like, what is going on with this? And like, everyone was saying the catchphrases to the point that I hadn't seen the movie and I was still saying the catchphrases.
Yeah.
And so it's so very interesting to me that I feel like you missed that.
I did.
Cultural moment.
I did.
Even though you were alive for it.
Yeah.
Because
at that
you were homeschooled.
age. Yeah. At that age, though, also, like, the other kids I was interacting with were not kids who cared about that.
Yeah, I know. Because you were homeschooled and you were involved in dance and theater only.
Yes. And the dance kids did not care about comedy films coming out.
Yeah.
This is just, like, the truth.
Yeah. So that's when it came out.
Okay.
To give you that little bit of context.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you more about 2006?
Sure.
Are we at that point in the episode?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Unless you want to say more about your thoughts on Borat.
I don't know. I think one thing that makes me like, oh, am I going to like this? Will this have aged well, even just in this time period, is actors doing accents.
Yeah.
It's always just like, a thick put-on accent, but, like, I don't know the context of the film, and I know that, like, I like Sacha Baron Cohen a lot, but so, like, I'm, like, a little, you know what I mean, though?
I honestly was wondering the same thing today. I was like, how has this aged?
Yeah. In 15 years.
Yeah. And I actually, to try to figure out whether or not this bit of trivia that I thought I knew was true or not, I watched a clip of the movie today.
Yeah.
And just the 2-3 minutes of it I watched, I was sitting here giggling to giggling like a little kid. And it took me back to being not even a kid, because I saw it as a teen later.
Yeah, that's still a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, but like,
yeah,
I mean,
not
honestly,
as a kid.
I probably saw the movie at 17, 18.
Oh, okay.
But it just like pulled me back and was just like the giggly little kid. Like, it's dumb funny.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be okay.
Okay.
I do. I think it's going to be okay.
All right.
And I wonder if I should give you some of the context to the accent and the character before you see it or not.
I don't know what that would be, so I can't really weigh in on that because I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the accent is obviously affected.
Yeah.
It's somewhat Russian because he's from Kazakhstan.
Okay.
Which is close to like the Ukraine and some other I guess not the Ukraine. It's just Ukraine now.
Yeah.
But that's hard to say, and my brain always says it wrong. I apologize, Ukraine. So that's where he's like from his like that area.
Okay.
And he himself is British, I guess. But he's Ashkenazi Jew. So that's like a Jew from that area of Europe. Like his heritage.
The character is? Or...
No,
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Gotcha.
His heritage is Ashkenazi.
Is from that
Jew.
area.
So that's like his like area. And most of the film is him playing a somewhat anti-Semitic character, actually.
Okay.
So I think that's the only way it works is because...
he is what he is.
He is what he is.
So and he's making... kind of what he's playing. He kind of is both.
Yeah. So I think it works. And then like the other film he does like this, Bruno, I think he can be Austrian because like the Austrian people haven't really been that oppressed.
Yeah.
Besides by Germany, which Germany oppressed everyone. So
yeah.
So I think he still gets to punch up in that way.
Yeah.
So that's like that, I guess.
I mean, I don't even know. I have no grasp whatsoever of what the movie is.
I mean, it's the cultural learnings of America to make benefit. Glorious nation of Kazakhstan.
I was just saying, you're saying preconceived notions of what this film might be.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the character was or was supposed to be from. I just knew it had a heavily affected...
Yeah. And it is weird because it did make a lot of teens my age and a little bit older were all going around doing the Borat voice.
Yeah.
And like that maybe was a problem. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, we'll carry on though.
All right, but it's 2006.
Yeah.
Highest grossing films of 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, which is Dead Man's Chest.
Okay.
The Da Vinci Code.
Oh, okay.
Ice Age 2. Uh-huh. Casino Royale. So the first Daniel Craig James Bond. Night at the Museum.
Oh.
Cars 1.
Okay.
X-Men The Last Stand, which is the third one of the original three. Mission Impossible 3. Superman Returns.
Okay.
And Happy Feet.
Superman Returns.
It's the Brendan Roth Superman movie.
Oh, okay.
That kind of went nowhere, unfortunately.
Okay.
It was kind of an interesting film, but
we don't need to talk about it. I just got confused about what Superman movie would have been 2006, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Carrying on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So those are the top films of 2006. We're into franchise heavy.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah. All right.
The beginning of the end of cinema. I'm kidding. I'm just a joke. That's fully a joke. I don't think cinema's dead. I love movies. I watched the new...
Franchise movies are cinema because all cinema means is moving picture.
You haven't seen this yet?
What?
I watched the Marvel movies promo Disney put out today. That's just both a promo of you should go to the movies and we're all stronger now and the world is okay. And it's also them being these are the Disney movies coming out for the next 4 years.
Oh.
These are the Marvel movies, at least.
Yeah.
And they tell you all of the movies,
yeah.
Black Widow and Shang-Chi and the Eternals. And it's got the first look at the Eternals footage.
Oh.
Literally, I cried.
Oh, jeez.
I watched it and cried.
I'm so sorry I missed that.
So, I can't say that cinema is dead. Because I watched a couple-minute promo
for superhero movies and cried.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's gorgeous. We'll watch it later, I promise.
I'm so excited.
So those are the top movies this year.
Okay.
The Atlantic called Borat one of the funniest, actually called it the funniest film of the decade.
Okay.
And The Guardian included it in the best 10 films of 2000 to 2009.
Okay.
So Borat's one of the best 10 films in that 10-year period, according to The Guardian.
And The Atlantic.
Well, The Atlantic calls it the funniest film of the decade.
Yeah.
And then it was nominated for Best Motion Picture Musical at the Golden Globes.
Oh, wow.
It lost to Dreamgirls.
Okay.
Yeah. Sacha Baron Cohen won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a musical or comedy.
Wow.
For Borat.
Okay.
It was also up for the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay, and it lost to The Departed.
Why was it up for Best Adapted Screenplay?
Because Borat is a character from Sacha Baron Cohen's TV show, Da Ali G Show.
Okay.
Therefore, it's technically...
So because it was a pre-existing character, they have to call it adapted screenplay?
Yeah. If it's not an original character in an original script based on nothing, that's adapted.
So, okay. All right.
Because it has preconceived characters and ideas.
So, like, the first in the new Star Wars trilogy, which was not up for screenplay, but
Best
like
adapted.
it could not be up for original screenplay, even though it was like mostly original characters, but it was in a preconceived universe.
Correct.
Did not know that.
Correct.
Was that strict in that manner? Okay. All right.
So best adapted screenplay.
Okay, cool.
Because, yeah, so this is a character he was doing.
Yeah.
Which is something that I find so interesting.
Yeah.
That, like, there's 3-ish seasons of the Ali G show.
Okay.
You have to say duh, because that's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
It's the Ali G show.
Okay. I wasn't questioning it.
And, like, I couldn't find any metrics on how successful that show was. Like, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much just Sacha Baron Cohen, generally as either the character Ali G, Borat, or Bruno.
Okay.
And so it's surprising that he was able to do that for long enough and then still travel the country as these two characters, Borat and Bruno, making entire feature films with people that I guess have never heard of him or seen any of his stuff. And he's unknown enough at that point.
Yeah.
Right after Borat came out, they were like, there's going to be a Borat sequel. And he was like, you literally can't.
Yeah.
But
Which
they
is
did.
why subsequent movie film, he cast someone else, though.
There's a girl that does a lot more of this stuff.
Yeah, because he is too famous at this point.
I'm so intrigued to see subsequent movie film.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Cool, cool.
But so that's 2006.
Cool.
The movie is directed by Larry Charles.
Okay.
Before this movie, he had done some movie I'd never heard of,
Okay.
which is called Masked and Anonymous,
Okay.
which is written and starring Bob Dylan.
Okay.
It's got a very low meta score, and that's the only thing he'd done before this.
Okay.
Apparently, the Hangover and the Joker director guy supposedly was directing Borat,
Oh.
and then he got nervous after a specific scene that they filmed and was like, I don't think I'm in for this. This is too much. This is a lot. And like the FBI is looking into all of us. And
Okay, you should probably stop talking because I have no idea what this movie is, and you're gonna like.
yeah.
Well, I just want to go in with no.
But apparently he was a part of it, and he
dropped.
creative differences,
Okay.
he claims. 2006 was kind of a big year for Sacha Baron Cohen.
Okay.
He had Borat and Talladega Nights. I did not realize those were the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, because, like, everyone was doing the Borat stuff, but, like, Talladega Nights was, like, my movie in '06. That was the funniest movie I'd ever seen in my mind.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much. That's, like, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Okay, there we
Will
go.
Ferrell, Sacha Baron Cohen, they kiss at the end. It's the best scene ever.
Oh, the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the French sports car.
Yeah, kind of.
Amazing. I love that movie so much.
I've seen that movie once. I had to work really hard to summon up faces.
John C. Reilly.
Yes, I'm
I'm
with
all
you
hyped up
now.
on Mountain Dew.
I'm with you now.
I love that
Okay.
movie so much.
Okay. So those were the same year for him.
Same year. Before that, he'd done, I guess the year before that, he was a voice in Madagascar.
Okay.
And then besides that, it was the Ali G show and different TVs and shorts is all
Okay.
Sacha Baron Cohen had ever done. That's, it's also on the list of 1001 movies to see before you die.
Oh, is it? No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Which there aren't many comedies on that list. This is a comedy on that list.
Yeah.
So that's Borat.
Shit. All right.
I'm so excited for you to watch it.
I am too, I think. We'll see.
I'm intrigued because, like, no matter what, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
And if you hate it, that makes for an interesting episode.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of pressure on it, I feel like,
Yeah.
at this point. Seeing it this
understand.
late in the game.
Well, because that was, 15 years ago now?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a hard time figuring out a good Borat themed, like, if you're having a Borat party or
Yeah.
whatever,
What you would serve.
what I would serve.
Yeah. What'd you
I struggled for a while.
decide on?
So I honed in on 2006.
Okay.
And what I came up with and decided is that we're just going to time travel back to 2006.
Okay.
And so I got what would have been Patrick Poe's 2006 go-to things.
Oh, I'm excited. What'd you get?
So we've got Mountain Dew
Nice.
and gummy candies.
I love it.
That's
Let's
just
do it.
like that and Tostino's Pizza. That's his whole diet.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're going to be 13-year-old boys. We're going to drink Mountain Dew, eat gummy candies, and we're going to watch Borat.
That sounds like a blast.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, man. So when we put the DVD in, you'll see this.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite DVDs, like designs
Okay.
of all time.
Okay.
And as a person who's worked in multiple video stores, it confuses me every time. And that's why I like it so much.
Okay.
Should I explain it to our listeners or should I just wait till you get to see it?
You're going to explain it after.
Okay, I will.
So you don't spoil it for me and then you tell them about it.
Great, I will.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's go put Borat in.
All right. You have to say the title all dramatic and you have to say the whole title. Because you always go, this is.
No, I did it for the Oscar movies.
Oh, shit.
That was just for the Oscar movies. I'll do it for this, though.
Oh, I forgot that was. It was just, you've been doing it so much lately. I didn't know you didn't do it for Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, no, that bit was literally just for the Oscar movies.
I didn't know. I just think it's funny when you do it.
Yeah, the people that aren't people that listen to the Oscar ones don't
They
get this
haven't
bit.
heard you do. Okay, we'll do it anyhow.
All right. This is Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Yay!
You have now seen Borat.
I have. Dude, that was as stressful as the Oscar movies.
Yeah, I could tell you found it very stressful.
It was very stressful.
Because you were like worried for him.
For everyone. It was so stressful. Well, except for, all the racist white people and sexist white people and anti-Semitic white people. So all the white people.
Except the 3 feminists.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They were fine.
Yeah. They were so far at the beginning, I forgot. It's so stressful. That was my initial impression. It was too stressful to be funny.
I found Bruno funnier, personally.
Yeah.
But, like, that naked wrestling scene, man. Just...
That was pretty funny.
The little boy in me giggles every
it was still,
time.
Really stressful, and then, like, it's, in my opinion, if it was a fully narrative film, I would have found them like running through the lobby and interrupting the convention hilarious, but instead it was just stressful. It was just stressful.
You were very worried for his safety the whole movie.
Yes.
Which is understandable. His safety was...
Yeah, and like his friend, when they were naked at the convention, like got like taken down and dragged kind of hard off this. Like I was not... It was too stressful. I was too scared one of them was going to get hurt.
So Ozma...
To find humor in like any of it.
He's like a real actor. Like he's been in shit
He's
like TV,
great.
like TV, movies, like all sorts of
like,
shit.
What a badass.
For forever. And then he like did this, you know what I mean? Like just the fact that like doing this crazy film with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Like it's like Sasha's thing. You know what I mean? He's already done like 3 seasons of this TV show.
Yeah.
But like to ask someone else who's a real professional actor to be like, we're going to do this weird improv movie. You're going to speak in a different language the whole film.
I mean, he was great. I feel like he seems like he was really into it and enjoying it though, or he wouldn't have been that good. Is that a weird thing to say or
no,
assume?
I fully agree.
Yeah, it was just so...
I just feel like it has to have been a more scary experience for him than it was for like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Someone for whom this is like,
their art form.
Oh, this was the first time he's done it though. Was his show narrative or also with public interaction? Do you know? Or was this his first?
I've seen his show.
Oh, okay.
We own it on DVD.
Well, I don't fucking know what we have on DVD. We have so much on DVD.
No, the Ali G show is more news segment-y.
Okay.
With his 3 different characters getting in places as if they're doing news reports. And he plays all 3 of these characters.
But so this is Sacha Baron Cohen's first piece doing this. Also then.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I mean, not really, because like in the other one, he's Borat, and he literally does the etiquette training in an episode of the show. In Dolly G Show, he like goes to a thing and he's like, teach me how to have dinner party.
Oh, okay.
And then he talks to a lady and she teaches him how to do a dinner party.
Oh, okay.
And then he like goes to a dinner party. And like in that one, he asks, actually, like he does the same bit in the show. Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Because he asks about like what he should do if he farts. And then he farts at the dinner party.
Gotcha.
And, like, they have a whole discussion around the fart.
So that's what I was trying to ask, was if the show was like this, in that it's... Never mind.
It's all unscripted interactions with real people.
So yes. That's what I was trying to ask.
Yeah. Well, you asked if it was narrative.
Well, okay. That was... I meant...
Because the show really is... It doesn't have a narrative to it. They have like topics, and then they kind of just like jump around segment to segment.
Narrative maybe was a poor choice of words. I just meant like... scripted and planned with actors with a storyline versus being like
improvised,
like this, like there's like plot and characters but not really like a script or actors.
It is improvised like this. The whole show
with people.
Gotcha. With normies.
Gotcha. That's all I was trying to ask.
Political figures, like Ali G talks to a lot of politicians. But he's like a like tough guy, like South Londoner that like thinks he's a rapper is like Ali G's character.
Obviously.
And so he talks to politicians and like does really weird segments talking to them because they like don't understand what he's talking about. And like at one bit, like one guy talks about a hung jury and he's like, what's the size of their cock have to do with anything? And like, that's like the show.
Gotcha.
And then Bruno kind of just goes to fashion shows and makes fun of them, and it's amazing.
Gotcha.
And then Borat like does weird segments on American people to show how weird America is. And it was like a Channel 4, which is one of like the BBC channels. It was a Channel 4 HBO like collaboration.
Oh, weird.
So it showed on both those networks. So that's who made the original show.
That's so weird.
Then that's where he comes from.
Just that it was a BBC HBO collaboration?
I think it was first... Well, I don't know if it's like
not BBC. It's
Channel 4. It was Channel 4, and I think they did a whole season that was just Channel 4. And then HBO like came on, or bought the right. Like, I'm not really sure how all that worked. And like before that, he was like kind of a character, like Sasha was a character on like segments of television before having his own show. Like he like did like character pieces for different British shows. That's where he like comes from after being like really smart, and I think he went to like Cambridge and has a degree in history and is like a really geniusy dude, and then was all of a sudden like, I think I want to tell weird jokes. He's a very interesting guy. There's a very interesting episode of WTF where he talks to Mark, which is cool.
Mark Maron.
Yeah, because he doesn't do many interviews. Especially he doesn't do many interviews as himself. He, for a long time, only did interviews for the things he was promoting as the characters.
Of course he did.
So there was a lot of like him doing shows as Borat, and then he did some shows as Bruno. Like, that's just like how he was. Because he considers himself to be very private, actually.
I dig that.
But yeah, that was Borat.
So stressful.
I really want to watch Bruno with you now.
No, we'll watch it, and
I
I'll
really
be
want to watch
very
the sequel
stressed.
to this.
And I'll be very stressed.
I think the sequel to this will make me very stressed for some, like, and this could be misogyny in myself. But like, Sasha is like a 6'2" white dude. And so like, I'm like, he can probably, and he's also hilarious. And he generally plays kind of dumb characters, and that like really allows him a lot of lateral mobility
Yeah.
to like not get murdered.
Yeah.
But like, I think subsequent movie films gonna be a nervous thing to watch with like a smaller blonde female.
It's much more dangerous to be a small female in America than to be a tall, white-ish male.
Yeah. Whitish?
Well, because
The guy at the rodeo.
like, you look like a terrorist.
Oh, that seems so... And that's like what...
But if you shave the mustache, you could pass for Italian.
That's like what he's so good at, is like showing a light on the like...
How horrible America is.
Weird, unfortunate sides of America. And it's a weird thing because like he does it in an impressive way, in the fact that like I could easily see if like I went to a different country and did that, people being like, well, why would you do, like, you're an outsider, like you have no perspective on this. But he seems so intelligent that he does have a perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could be like, well, of course, like as a British male, like you think our culture looks weird, but it is. And he's not wrong. You know what I mean? His perspective on it isn't incorrect, I don't think. Does what I'm saying make any sense?
I think so.
Well, because he is
It
an out-group, technically.
What do you mean by out-group?
He's not American.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
So he's part of the out-group.
Yes.
And so usually when someone comes into a group and then is like, look at how weird this group is.
Yes.
That it bristles a lot of people.
Gotcha.
Which like this movie did bristle a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like that's why it was on the news, and that's why I knew about it in 2006.
Yeah.
Because I watched the news my parents watched, which was very much like, this movie is evil.
Gotcha.
This is the worst thing to ever be made.
Gotcha. The one that shows us cheering when he says the president will drink the blood of every man, woman, and child in Iraq.
Yeah.
We don't like that he filmed us cheering for that.
So, that scene, apparently, Todd Phillips was still directing back when they were doing that scene.
Okay. And
that scene is why Todd Phillips...
That scene? The rodeo scene?
It became a riot.
Oh, yeah.
And he, like, Sasha tells the whole story on WTF, but pretty much it became a riot. He had to run from them. He hid in a porta potty. He literally thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
He says that was the scariest scene of the whole filming process, was the rodeo. And at that point, that's when Todd Phillips was like, I think I don't know if I want to be a part of this. I know it makes you nervous and you don't love like prank things and like...
I mean, like, at least... Oh, this is going to sound so rude to other prank things. So I hate prank shows because I think it's cruel. I think it's bullying. I don't think it's funny. I never think it's funny. I've never seen a prank where someone wasn't hurt, upset, traumatized. I think it's bullying. I think it's bullying and it's cruel and it's terrible. This, though, like, he's like... So I have a whole separate thought on this too, but he's doing it with a purpose of not even manipulating people, but giving people an opportunity to show how messed up and ignorant our culture is here in America. Yeah. And so he's using the kind of prank format in a way to expose the underbelly of America that I wish was more of an underbelly. It's actually just like the face of America.
It became very prominently the face in 2016.
So he is like, which I think is awesome and cool and brave, but not enjoyable for me to watch. It's so stressful still. But I'm not like I am with like actual prank shows where I'm like, who is this for? This is for other bullies to look at and laugh. This is like an uncomfortable look at like, yeah, I can say I want to buy a gun to kill Jews and the guy doesn't call the cops on me. Yes. That is a horrifying expose of America. Like, it is horrifying and we all know that, but like seeing it is just like, fuck.
Yeah, because he just puts people in these positions where they're showing themselves to him. Yeah. He didn't make them say anything. Yeah. He didn't make them do anything. Nope. Like all the kids on the the RV that like pick him up.
Yeah.
Like all the terrible things they said.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for that.
Yeah. It also like...
And they know a camera's there.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a hidden camera even.
No, and yeah. Yeah. It's not at all. Like the kids on the bus, he's like, I'm filming myself traveling across America.
Yeah.
And
then they say terrible
and then
things about
like,
women.
yeah, we should have slaves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
That's...
that line's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah. There's something I want to talk about that I don't think this film does necessarily, but it rides a line, and it's something we've talked about with other films and other television programs about the intent of the filmmaker versus the audience it reaches and how that audience interprets it.
Yeah.
Because, like, this film, from my perspective, as a very liberal American, is clearly a painful indictment of the horrible state of America.
Yeah.
But, like, he is playing a character who, like, is not... He is sexist. He is anti-Semitic. He is, like, this bad person doing this thick accent, being, you know, like, around these people who are saying these things. If you're, like, laughing at a guy, telling him he looks like a terrorist, and you know what I mean, that there is, like, we've seen, and I think this piece falls on the correct side of that line, but about how the people, the teenage boys who watched it and were obsessed with it and were quoting it, and like, was their perspective when they saw it that America was terrible, or was everything in this just so funny that it doesn't even, like, you know what I mean? So
I can only tell you my perspective as an 18-year-old watching it.
Yeah, obviously we can't speak for anyone besides ourselves. It's just
But as an 18-year-old male,
yeah,
who grew up in a very conservative household,
yeah,
I know the conservatives I know, hate the film.
True. So he succeeded there.
So they're not watching Borat and laughing with him.
True.
Because somehow they know they're being made fun of. And I, watching as an 18-year-old, was just like, oh my God, I can't believe these people said this thing in front of a camera. Like, this is some shit that, like, I'm sure I know people that would say shit like that is terrible, but, like, the fact that they're so, like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, these are dumb people.
Yeah.
And these are bad people.
Like I said, there's other stuff that we've talked about before that I think, like,
rides that line
and becomes scary of whether or not it's clear that it's, like,
yeah,
what they're representing is bad and satirical.
So that's talking about Sacha Baron Cohen and these ideas.
Yeah.
We talk about Talladega Nights all the time.
We do.
Because I have an experience with Talladega Nights, seeing it as a 12, 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And thinking it was the funniest movie of all time.
Yeah.
And, like, being a somewhat, like, effeminate, artsy, weird, not stereotypical, like, boy.
Yeah.
I saw it as, oh my God, they're making fun of this masculinity and hyper-masculinity.
They're mocking toxic masculinity.
Yeah, they're mocking this toxic masculinity that, like, a lot of the friends I had were a part of, and they were all mean to me about and with their toxic masculinity, and they used it as a weapon.
Yeah.
But then they also saw Talladega Nights, and they just laughed as hard as I did. And I don't think they learned from it, which is sad because I think that movie is genius. I absolutely love that film.
Yeah.
But somehow in that movie, the toxic masculine dudes didn't see it, and they're like, oh, this movie shows us. But they weren't like, obviously.
They weren't like, oh, this movie is making fun of us.
Yeah. Yeah, where, like, the conservatives
hated this movie.
Hated Borat because they knew this movie's making fun of us.
Yeah. So, based on that weird standard, this movie succeeded and fell on the side of the line of dumb quote I spotted the other day that's not dumb, just pretentious about that, like, art should comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. This film afflicted the comfortable.
Oh, definitely.
So,
because like I didn't really like understand what was going on with it because I hadn't seen it, but I just like knew that people on the news were mad about Borat.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are people in the news mad about this dumb movie that like the kids that parents let them watch R-rated movies are thinking is the funniest movie ever? Like, it's just like, isn't it just like two dudes naked wrestling?
Yeah.
Because that's most of what like we cared about.
Sure.
Was that and like saying not and mostly those two things. Which like the not joke becomes a thing that's in The Office because Michael Scott does not for an entire episode because he saw Borat.
Oh, see, I hadn't seen Borat. I remember that him doing that in The Office. I didn't know it was because of
he does
Sacha
a
Baron
whole
Cohen.
like that whole episode is a whole bit about like because Michael Scott is so influenced by what he sees.
Yeah,
he sees Borat and then like the whole
he's
thing
doing
doing not and he's doing like other
God,
Borat.
That's great.
He's trying to do Borat for an episode. It's so good.
Gotcha.
Which also this movie was genius in the fact that like it was one of the first films to kind of it like used YouTube in a really good way. Because it put like little clips because it understands how it knows how segmented the film kind of is.
Yeah.
And like the Ali G show is already so segmented. They're like, oh, we can use this to market the film.
So another thing I really appreciated about this film though was that also unlike prank shows, he like didn't create a horrible experience or make fun of the B&B people.
Yeah. Yeah.
He only provided opportunity for assholes to humiliate themselves, but he did not like...
Yeah, he like needed that scene for the narrative of his character.
Yeah.
But he did like give you a couple moments where like he looked at the camera weird behind her back or like...
Yeah, and then they amped it up with scoring, but he didn't like...
He did not hurt their feelings.
He reined it in because that would not have been appropriate.
Yeah. Because, like, it's not funny if he asks her where her horns are.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah, because Sacha Baron Cohen is not a bad person.
Yeah.
He's playing a bad person, but he is not a bad person. So he knows where to draw that line.
There is a deleted scene where he goes to get a tattoo and he talks about how he wants it to be like a Jew. And then at one point, like, the guy draws a stereotypical Jew. And he's like, where do the horns go? And he like draws the horns. He goes, so do you want a Jew or a devil? And he's like, a Jew devil. And like, it's a horrible scene. But like that guy, once again, is fine to make fun of.
Yeah.
Where making fun of the old, adorable B&B Jewish couple with all her paintings are wonderful.
They're so incredible. Like the first one, she was like, and I painted this. I was like, is this real? Are these real people? She's fucking incredible. Jesus, they were incredible paintings. Good God.
And then that whole scene was built with score, which is, I think, genius.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it for the piece.
Great job, Borat.
I respect him and what he's done, but it is not enjoyable for me to watch. It's so stressful.
Yeah, it's not your kind of film.
Yeah. I think maybe on second watch, you know, if I like know everything it's got, but it's still like very stressful.
I mean, the scene that I was giggling to earlier today was the hotel naked wrestling. I was just watching it and just be like, oh my God, as an actor, like the level of commitment.
Yeah.
To just be like, yeah, I'm going to sit on your face.
I was very impressed. They're professionals. That was great.
Like, after we were watching, I was like, I'm committed to a lot of jokes and I'm willing to do a lot for a joke. I don't know if I'm willing to do that for a joke.
It was a lot. It's a special level of commitment.
Yeah, I was like, Sasha might be more committed to that joke than I would have ever been.
Did he actually assault Pamela Anderson, or was she in on it?
So Pamela Anderson's in on the joke.
Okay.
And she agreed to be in the film.
Okay.
Pamela Anderson's security team was not in on the joke, which is why the guy puts an elbow to his face and the hand got like, that's why they're so...
Did Sacha Baron Cohen know that? Did he not want them in on the joke? Oh my God.
He wanted their reaction to be as real as possible.
It seemed like she was in on it, and I assumed and hoped, because otherwise that would be the only thing where I would have been like, no,
yeah,
bro,
that's too far.
much. That's assault. Okay, so she was in on it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I thought they took him down kind of hard, though, which the security team taking him down that hard then made me concerned she wasn't in on the joke, though. You know what I mean? Because like, if you don't know and you're watching it and you're like, okay, she has to be in on it, though, because, like, surely he wouldn't assault a performer, you know, like. But then, like, in the party, and I was like, oh, yeah, she's, like, really, like this feels. And then the team took him down there. I was like, oh, was she not? Because they seem serious. So I'm glad to know. Also, like, she's phenomenal for being like, yeah, that's funny. Let's do that.
Is it weird that I was watching it thinking, like, how many movies do you think Pamela Anderson is actually in that are Oscar nominated? Because Borat's one of them.
Oh my God. I'm sure she didn't expect that.
Yeah, I know.
She's great.
Talking about the security team taking him down and the security taking them down at the other place.
At the hotel?
At the hotel.
Yeah.
If you were curious, the cops were called on them 94 times, is at least what the trivia says.
Yeah, I believe
while
that.
filming this movie.
I believe that.
Which is also, like, after the rodeo, the FBI opened up a case.
Yeah.
And, like, they were following, not necessarily Sasha even, because they weren't even sure what was going on. They were following 2 Middle Eastern looking men driving an ice cream truck across country. And they were starting a whole file about him.
Isn't it nice to know our government is putting their time to such good use?
I mean, he did start a riot at a rodeo.
You know?
What?
You're looking at me like you want me to say something.
No, I was just looking at you wondering if you had anything else to say.
I don't know. I still think Sacha Baron Cohen's a genius. And I would not do that because I don't have a death wish. But
yep, same.
But it is a piece of cinema that is shocking and
wholly
impressive
its own.
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, he created a thing that, like, it's not Jackass.
No.
It's not like those shows. It's also not your typical comedy, nor is it a documentary. It's like it's its own thing.
It is.
He invented a thing.
He did, which is, like, so impressive. And I do love that when I see a thing that's not like anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if I was to just, like, sum up my experience of the film,
yeah,
it'd be that I think he's very smart. I think he created a very unique work of art. I think it's very impressive. I think art should afflict the comfortable. So I think it's art. And it was wholly unenjoyable for me to watch. That is my assessment of Borat.
Beautiful.
Like, I'm impressed and so stressed.
Well, we don't have to do it on this podcast, but I have 2 more films like this I want you to watch. Bruno and Borat's subsequent movie film.
Yeah.
And I also like now seeing them want to rewatch The Dictator.
Yeah.
And then kind of just like chat with you at some point about
how
you think those experiences differ.
Maybe we should do Bruno on the podcast and the other one, just like spread them out a little. Because like you said, you thought Bruno was funnier. And I do really want to see subsequent movie film. I'm sure it will be also
maybe we'll just do
stressful.
them sometime as something to like enjoy.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll drop them exclusively on the Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah. We do that
Because
too.
I think that's a lot of episodes to take up with Sasha. But I do want to watch them and have conversations.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. So I might as well roll the mic.
Yeah, that's true. So I had another thought, but it's like related to Oscar stuff so much that I don't know if it's worth like...
Nomadland?
Yeah.
It is interesting because it's honestly in a similar style to Nomadland.
Yes, but like...
It serves a purpose.
In this.
Yep.
But Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is interesting because I was thinking the same thing about how this versus Nomadland, which won Best Picture, I think this does the style better because it's that way for a reason.
Well, this film, if you were gonna, like, this film is investigative reporting in a sense.
Yes.
Because he's going in with a purpose to, like, show what people are really like. If you give them the opportunity to show what they're really like, even barely. Like, he's not, like, asking people to say terrible things. He's just, like, there, and he's a little weird, and people are terrible. Like, it's more like investigative journalism.
Yeah. Where Nomadland kind of had a similar style, and that was the idea, but, like, all of the things they said were pretty much what they needed to say to get the script across to have Frances McDormand go through her emotional journey.
My problem is that we talk a lot about, like, punching down, and that we just said that art should afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted. But Nomadland, they went in amongst, for a lot of them, the afflicted.
Yeah.
And didn't tell them what they were doing and encouraged them to expose themselves without understanding what was happening. Good people in an intimate way. And so to me, Nomadland, the filmmaking style feels manipulative and like using good people to your own advantage. Whereas this film is investigative journalism showing bad people. Because
I love to argue.
Yeah.
Regardless of my own personal stance.
Yes.
I love arguing with people.
I know you do.
It's one of my favorite things
to
just really talk out an idea. Because talking about comforting the afflicted and afflicting the comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that the purpose of the film Nomadland, though, is to afflict the comfortable into showing them a side of society that they might not know exists or have known existed. And I think that the problem that we have with it is that a lot of the people watching the movie, in like you, me, if my friends watch it, you know what I mean? Like, we know those people. We don't need a movie to show us those people.
Yeah.
Which is why I think we're less impressed by it than people that vote for the Oscar films, because
their friends
are so comfortable.
Family isn't. Yeah.
That they were afflicted by it. Where to us, when in some ways, like, we aren't the most financially stable, it can be like, well, why did you, like, who's this movie for? Well, it's not for us, I think.
But the filmmaking style served no purpose to hide. Just arguing
agree.
To argue.
I was just.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
There's no reason.
I have no good defense.
Yeah.
Of why it's not just
actors
beyond the publicity gimmick.
Yeah.
Which, like, sounds really rude.
It does, but, like, otherwise you don't let people think your lead actress is one of them and let them, like, share things with her and let her tell things to them that are untrue and let them, like, live believing this character.
Unless it's Borat.
Unless it's your Borat and you're trying to get something out of people. Which he's doing. That's the purpose of Borat, is he's trying to get something out of people.
Yeah.
He's using them to make a point.
Yeah, and then he's also, like, the character of Borat allows him to always be, like, the comedic, like, foil, in the sense of, like, the guy that's always like, yeah, I became funny as a kid because, like, you can either become tough or you can become funny to not get beaten up.
Yeah.
Like, Sacha Baron Cohen uses that constantly.
Well, and it also, like, if I wasn't just inherently so stressed that I was going to see something horrible happen to Sacha Baron Cohen or the other actor whose name I don't know.
He's in Chicago 7.
You know, you can get pretty badly hurt and still come out okay. You know that, right? Like,
he chose it. He wanted it.
I didn't know whether or not Sacha Baron Cohen was hospitalized from this film. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen to him. I knew he didn't die, but beyond that, I had no knowledge.
he did get wrestled with naked.
Oh, well, that was funny. No, but what I was trying to get to, though, was that, like, his character in this also, if you weren't as stressed as I was the whole film, if you were able to, like, watch it, or maybe on second watching, he is there also to lend watchability to a piece that otherwise would not be.
Yeah.
Because I would not watch a documentary about this. A lot of people would, but, like, it would be unbearable to just watch an actual investigative piece or documentary just about how terrible Americans are. Like, that's not a piece. He's lended a narrative to it by creating another terrible person who lends humor to the piece, though, in horrifying ways as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Could we talk about how cute that bear was, though?
Bear's so cute. There's some trivia about the bear. I didn't write it down.
That's okay.
I apologize.
It doesn't really matter.
I think the bear is 2 bears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's 2 different trained bears.
Gotcha. They had different tricks.
I guess.
I know.
One of them swims.
Yeah. And one of them roars. I mean, that usually is how it is with trained animals. They're like, oh, this one does this one really well. This kitten likes to cuddle, and this kitten likes to run.
There are some, if you have the DVD, there are some. I watched the deleted scenes today. There are some pretty good deleted scenes.
Oh, God. Sounds stressful.
I mean, they're just single scenes of him talking to another person that they decided to cut out. Like, there's one of him talking to the tattoo artist. There's one of him, I guess, before they decide for either the gun or the bear. There's them at a, like, puppy shelter. He's trying to pick out a puppy. And there's one bit where he's asking if it's trained to hunt Jews.
Oh, God. And
the lady, you can tell, is visibly uncomfortable at that. And then he just, like, keeps escalating it till the lady kicks him out of the puppy place. And then there's another scene of him just in a grocery store, which he kind of talks about, saying he's going to go to a grocery store to get Pamela
a gift. Yeah.
So there's a scene of him in a grocery store.
Oh.
And he has, I feel so bad for this guy, which maybe is why they cut it out.
I mean, it sounds like the lady at the animal shelter was not a bad person.
No.
So it's appropriate to cut that. You know, like, because he only kept, like, humiliating, only footage of revealing bad people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what this scene at the grocery store serves, because it's just him with a, like, really just sad sales associate, and Borat just going down an aisle going, what's that? And he's like, it's cheese. And he's like, what's that? And it's just cheese. They go, he points at every single cheese in a dairy section, asking what it is. And the guy just goes, cheese, every time. And it goes on for like 3 minutes. So, like, I was like, yeah, I get why that was cut. Like,
yeah, because, see, that's punching down. It's not nice to prank minimum wage employees.
No, not at all.
Yeah, TikTok. It's not good to prank minimum wage employees.
Preach it, sister. There isn't a bunch of trivia about this movie.
I mean, they filmed everything that was...
I mean, you didn't see the riot at the rodeo.
Oh, my God.
It got too dangerous.
Part of me wishes, like, obviously safety, and I'm sure but, like...
I want to see the rodeo riot.
I hope they put safety first and stop filming, is what I'm saying. I hope there isn't footage of the riot, because I hope they were prioritizing their own safety.
Probably.
But I still wish it had kind of been part of the plot, even if it had just been him talking about it later.
I mean,
because...
he offhandedly goes, I almost died last night.
True.
That's the next thing he says.
Yes, but you don't know it escalated beyond them booing him.
Yeah. In
that moment. I almost wish he had included a little bit more about that, like, they turned that violent over him just being weird and dumb.
Well, his national anthem, I think, is maybe what did it.
Yeah. I mean, that's when they started booing. And
a horse fell over.
Yeah,
the horse disliked it so much the horse fell over.
That was really weird.
It's a very American horse.
It was really weird.
So one of the big pieces of trivia is that almost all Arab countries refused to show the film when it initially came out.
Okay.
And there are some people that do think the film is anti-Semitic. Other people, there's a lot of arguments about, like, what the film is anti.
Yeah.
I think the biggest... closest to true argument is that some people think it's anti the Romani people, which are modern day gypsies.
Yeah.
Which I could see.
It's...
especially because, all the people that are from Kazakhstan that you see, those are all Romani.
Oh.
So that's kind of like...
that was my biggest concern. When the film started, I was like, ooh, this seems bad.
Yeah.
To be... making fun of this for American audiences to see, who already have these warped bad perspectives of every country other than America.
So, in Kazakhstan, at first, put out a statement about how this film was untrue and bad and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then Kazakhstan actually saw a huge rise in tourism.
Oh, shit.
Because people wanted to go where Borat was from. And so one guy, I wrote the quote down.
If we were going to say any part of the film was bad, like the bits of his hometown are not a good joke for Americans to be laughing at.
Yeah, no, because most of the film is him punching up at America.
Yes.
But those jokes are a little...
Yeah, making fun of white Americans, that needs to be done. But yeah,
I think that bookending it with that opens the film up to more people experiencing it, though, in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because I think more people are going to start laughing there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then they will keep laughing throughout the other bits, and then maybe they'll learn something.
Yeah, maybe.
But so by 2012, the Kazakh foreign minister said that he was actually grateful to Borat for helping to attract tourism to Kazakhstan.
Jesus.
So it took 6 years for them to turn around.
Yeah. But... It is also, just because you said, like, what we were saying before, like, it is, like, his character is so anti-Semitic.
Yes.
And that is, like, dangerous for people to be laughing at. But, like, the way he does it is, like, so just, like, ridiculous that to someone who isn't anti-Semitic, you're like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That people would actually, like, this is nonsense. But
I think that's the goal,
still,
is that it's so over the top that you're like, oh my God.
How could anyone...
He's so dumb.
Think that.
He's so obviously dumb.
Yeah.
About his beliefs of Jews.
That's clearly the goal of the piece.
Yes.
To me, but it just, I can see also, where some people,
like I said, if anyone knows about him,
he is
Jewish. And so what he's speaking when he's speaking in a foreign language, that's mostly Hebrew, which he speaks fluently.
Gotcha.
Mixed with some Polish, I think I read.
Okay.
And then Asmat speaks, I think, Hebrew and something else.
Okay.
So it's a lot of Hebrew.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's just because it sounds foreign and they're like, Americans won't know.
I mean, it adds, though, to the, like...
the larger joke of it.
The larger joke, if you're in on the joke, it's so just like, oh my God. But if you're those frat boys in the RV watching this movie, though...
Yeah.
Who thinks you should have slaves and, like... then you're actually laughing at the running of the Jews.
Yeah, those guys are a problem.
Yeah.
Just in life.
I mean...
So, that's my last bit of trivia, really.
Yeah.
Is that in films like this and prank shows, there's always that question of, like, how did they get away with any of this?
Yeah.
And Borat is a testament to how strong their lawyers are. Because nearly everyone that's in this movie tried suing them.
Oh.
Either for compensation or to stop the release or the production of DVDs of this movie.
Oh,
like the three frat boys first tried to sue for money and then tried to sue to stop the DVD from being made. And they're like, no, like you've signed waivers.
Yeah.
You let us film you and you said those things.
Yeah.
And so they did a really good job of doing that because they sued them. I think a couple other groups sued the Borat group, but the frat boys were one that oddly stood out to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are the epitome of who would sue and have rich daddies that would. And
then also just seeing the things they said, I'm just like, oh my God, of course you would try to get that covered up because honestly, they're probably some of the worst characters in the film.
Yeah. They're also the ones with the most to lose, because if you're an old person who's already retired and you're filmed saying horrible things, your future careers and employment aren't in jeopardy for the rest of your life. Those guys are like 20s.
Yeah.
They've got 60 more years of their life to get through.
Yeah.
I hope they saw the error of their ways and were much humiliated. And
I hope so too.
Had a really shitty couple of years and then changed their lives and became good people.
Yeah.
That is what I wish on them.
I do too.
Not complete destruction, just a good chunk of suffering and then change.
Yeah, enough suffering that they learned and grew.
Exactly.
I hope.
That's what I wish for all bad people.
I hope they didn't suffer so much they became resentful and then just like dug
and they just
even
became like super villains.
Yeah. Like 10 years from now, one of them shaves their head and tries to take over the world like Lex Luthor and kill Superman.
I hope they weren't like at the Capitol riot. I hope instead they're like good people now.
Yeah, me too. That would be sad.
That would be sad. That'd be very sad if they didn't change after all this.
Yeah.
After seeing all this.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I like how much, I don't know. This might be a weird bit. You can cut this bit. I like how we pretend like we have this like really freedom of speech and expression and media and stuff, which obviously doesn't mean you can't express your displeasure. There have been a lot of things I have expressed my displeasure over. That is part of freedom of speech. People can say things you don't like and you can say you don't like it. I feel like also though a lot of stuff they try to like shut down. Like people get mad to the point though of not wanting things they don't like. Like we also saw just recently The Interview.
Yeah. Was
a film that we thought might not make it to theaters.
I mean, that wasn't super recently, but yeah.
Oh. It was more recently than this.
Almost 10 years ago.
No, it wasn't. It was like 5 years ago.
2014.
Oh, so much more recently than
7
this.
years ago.
Okay, fine. You said like 10.
7's almost 10.
Well, yeah. Just like whenever somebody makes something that is like actually like critical of like America or governments or dictatorships, then we're like, everyone gets in a tizzy.
Yeah.
You can only make fun of governments if it's science fiction.
That's like the beauty of that style.
Yeah.
That's why it exists, kind of.
Yeah.
But you're right. To make fun of something that's current and in power scares a lot of people, which is also funny because, like, that's the people you should make fun of because they're in power. We should be critical of them.
Yep.
But also, like, anyone that makes a movie is just awesome and good for them. I'm glad they made a movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
Regardless of if I like it or not, or if it bothers me in some stupid way. But I think Sasha is a genius.
He definitely is that.
Yeah. Like, just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him. I don't even, like, this isn't even like I said, this isn't even my favorite.
Yeah.
I think this one's kind of okay.
I mean, it's also his first.
Yeah.
It's also his first feature film.
Yeah. And he doesn't even, like, direct them, which is, like, because we consider, like, his movies.
Yeah, but, like, in a leading role in a mostly improv film.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah. They are.
It is a different.
Without him, they wouldn't be these movies.
It's a different animal than a fully scripted piece.
I fully agree. But that's Borat.
That's Borat.
You've seen it now.
I have.
Very nice.
Oh my God. That was a trip, man. I need to like go do something to de-stress now.
I think this was less stressful than the movie I was going to make you watch.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
But I'm still going to make you watch that. That'll probably be the next episode of my episodes.
Cool.
I can't wait to figure out what you pick for.
I know. I get to pick the next movie to make you watch one.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
We'll see what I pick.
All right. Well, I love you.
I love you.
Oh, should we talk about the DVD?
Oh, yeah. So if you when you open up the DVD case.
Because I showed it to Lolo and I wish I'd done it on the podcast.
It's so funny to me. I don't know if it's funny to anyone else, but in the DVD looks like a home burned disc with Sharpie Borat written on it. Just
and
a
the
silver...
R is backwards.
Yeah, it's so genius. I saw it and I was immediately angry that I hadn't thought of that, because now I can't put out a DVD that just looks like a shitty home burned.
It's such a good joke.
Yeah.
And I also love that the DVD case and the disc itself is a joke.
Yeah, it's excellent.
It creates a full joke experience.
Yeah, it does.
It's joke beginning to end.
It's very in-depth.
Lots of jokes.
Which I suppose one should expect from the man who was doing interviews and characters, so.
Yeah, that's how his career started.
Oh, goodness. What a nut.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.